Aaron, first of all, welcome to Brentford.
Thanks very much.
I didn't know this, but you've got a bit of history with Brentford, haven't you?
Yeah, my mum's uncle used to play here. Hugh McLaughlin, he played in the 60s for Brentford. I think he was meant to be the first substitute that came on, so wow. It's interesting.
So you got the link already, and
yeah.
Look, obviously with a new signing comes an unveiling video. Are you gutted that we didn't do the Loch Ness Monster for yourself?
No, I'm not gutted at all, because that was embarrassing. But
no, but to run, I actually thought it was pretty genius.
It was alright. At the time I was looking at it and I thought, oh, it's actually good and stuff, and then after a while I was thinking, what the hell is this? Mad. But a few of the boys give me a slotting for it now.
I was going to say, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, look, there's no Loch Ness here today, don't worry about that, mate. To be fair, I watched your interview on Sky Sports Football, and Bologna seemed like an amazing place to play football, and Italy in general. Yeah. What then made you decide that this was the right place for you in your next chapter?
Obviously, like Serie A and stuff, and Italy's good living there, but I thought just it's Brentford, you know, Premier League, and I just want to test myself again, take another step. So yeah, just excited to start, really.
Had you seen much of us last year in the Premier League?
Last year, I watched a few games, yeah. You had a few big results at the start of the season, am I right in saying that? And against last minute winners and stuff, but
obviously winning Chelsea and
yeah, at the end of the season as well. So yeah, I watched a few games.
Yeah.
So.
And what about your conversations with Thomas? What have they been like, and what's kind of he said to you that he's expecting from yourself?
Well, I had a Zoom call with him and a few phone calls, and he seems really nice and welcoming. So, and he's obviously a really good manager. So. Yeah, he just says come in and we'll see how you are and stuff, and then just like do your best.
And you've mentioned already your family links to Brentford. This is a family club, so does that kind of thing kind of sway your decision as well, coming to someone like us?
Yeah, I like it when there's a family feel to the club. It sort of invites you to go to the club, and also obviously my mum's uncle, he played here, so that's also nice. Nice to know it's in the family.
It's also nice when you go to a new club, see some familiar faces, and Jack Wilson, our analyst, has been on me all week saying he's you and him go way back.
He's been texting me as well.
He has, yeah.
When you're coming down.
It's annoyed me that you actually remember him, because I was hoping you'd say, who's Jack Wilson? But so you know Jack already, and you've played against Chris Adger as well, right?
Yeah. I played against Ayer, I think maybe once or twice in the cup final a few years ago. So it'd be nice to talk to him and stuff. And then obviously Jack, he was at Hearts when I was there, so it'd be nice to see him as well, actually.
What was it like playing against Chris?
Scary, seeing him chase after you. But no, he's a great player and stuff, so it'd be nice to play alongside him.
Yeah, and you mentioned obviously, so you've joined here from Bologna, and talking about your time in Italy, how was it for you, first of all, culturally? Because it's a big step, you went there at a very young age.
Yeah, it was a big step for me picking Italy, but I thought it was the right decision because the outcome's good. Now I'm playing in the Premier League with Brentford, so it was the right decision to move there at that age.
You still going to keep up the Italian lessons?
No, mate, come on.
That's pushed to one side for now.
That's how we know, but...
And what about football-wise? Because Serie A is renowned for its defensive prowess, and it's kind of seen sometimes the defenders' playground. What was it like for you out there?
Yeah, it was great. It was a good experience. Obviously, our manager played left back, and he was a full back, so he gave me lots of wee tips, 1-to-1. Although the language barrier was quite hard, but we just got someone to translate it, and me and him had a good connection. So,
what is it about defending out there? What is it that is so good, and why do so many defenders learn so much out there, do you think?
I don't really know. I think it's just like it's dead tactical out there in Italy, and the shaping of the team and sticking together. It's like a team game, team spirit and all that, just defending set pieces. It's all, if you do something wrong at a set piece or something, like you lose your man, like the manager is, everyone's going to go through you, like you cannot make mistakes. Probably likewise here obviously, but that was the first time I had lost my man for the corner.
Just gone.
Got slated.
Got the hairdryer. So what do you think you added to your game most out there?
Probably defensively, but also I managed to get a few goals as well this season, which is I improved on. But mostly I'd say defending, and just that's probably the biggest thing.
Because you love getting forward, don't you?
Yeah, no, I like to get forward and always just try and work hard and get up the pitch and try and get a shot off and see what happens. So.
Got 5 last year.
5 goals, yeah.
That's not too bad at all.
That.
What else can Brentford fans expect from you then?
Just that I'll give it my all every game, work hard, hopefully a few goals, and as I said, just do everything I can for the club.
The quote these days is, no one grows up wanting to be a Gary Neville. So as a fullback, who did you grow up wanting to be?
Quite liked Maldini. He was one of my favourite ones, AC Milan, just the way he used to do things, and obviously his long hair and stuff I liked.
You've not gone for that though?
No. I tried to go for it in Italy, but it just wasn't working out for me. So.
What was it like then playing against Milan then? It must have been a pretty cool thing, Maldini's history there at the San Siro and stuff.
Obviously playing for Bologna and stuff in the San Siro was class, just to know that he played here, and obviously AC Milan, and it was class experience for me.
You've had a lot of amazing experiences at such a young age. It's remarkable what you have achieved. Is there anything that stands out for you so far?
Probably, and one in every different year. Like in my first year was probably playing against Aya in the cup final. I was 16, and then the next year just a consistent season at Hearts. And then obviously I moved to Bologna and then scoring a few goals the next season, and then now here, so it all went really fast. So.
But you mentioned that so casually, the cup final at 16. You'd only made your debut, 2 weeks before, right?
Yeah, two weeks was my debut against Celtic at Parkhead, and then 2 weeks after that playing the cup final. So
that's a lot for a 16-year-old to take on board. Were you nervous?
Must have. I was nervous, but I had a few. Like one of my good pals, he was really young at the same time, 16. So me and him were just chatting to each other, saying if we go on, just go and do your thing and just hopefully do your best.
And then, even again at 16, you're playing against men, but also people like Chris, who are massive.
I remember I was on the pitch before the game and I was walking around the stadium and then the reserve coach came up to me and said, no, the first team coach came up and said, just treat it like a reserve game.
No problem.
No problem, 60,000 flags and all that.
All the Celtic fans there, Hearts fans, unbelievable. But I mean, look, Golden Boy, shortlist 2 years in a row as well, scoring in the Edinburgh Derby, the ones you've already mentioned as well. So what are your next targets?
Next target is just to do well with Brentford, try and do as well as we can and do my best for the team. Amazing. Hope for the best, and hopefully we can go and do well.
Exciting stuff, mate. Well, look, cheers for your time, and excited for a big season ahead. Cheers. Josh, first of all, thanks for your time, because I know you are busy at the moment and you're getting pushed hard. Tough pre-season, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not been easy. To be fair, the first few days were okay, and then we started doing some runs and the 1K, and it's been hard, but it's been enjoyable though.
It's worth it, isn't it? That's what you've got to do, get those yards in early, and I know that's a big thing.